My dear Tiberius, Augustus Caesar was growing no younger. In August of the year 7, he would celebrate his 70th birthday. This past year, however, had brought him much more cause for anxiety than for celebration. Feeling weak and miserable from a recent illness, he sat one day with a shawl around his shoulders at his desk in the tabulum, writing a letter to Tiberius, who was still in camp on the frontier. "I swear to you, my dear Tiberius," he began. Then, stopping to adjust his pen, he held it poised for some time, lost in his anxiety over the safety of Tiberius and the empire. As he had long feared, rebellion had now broken out in the empire's most weakly defended spot, in Pannonia. Fortunately, there had been no uprising in Palestine, and from the ambitious young German chieftain in Vienna, there was nothing more to be feared. He had been quickly cowed and frightened into seeing the folly of his ways by the mere approach of the Roman legions. But scarcely had Tiberius come to peaceful terms with him when this more serious rebellion had broken out in Pannonia. There on the Adriatic Sea, not 10 days marching time from Rome, the natives had suddenly attacked and slaughtered not only merchants, salesmen, and tax collectors traveling from town to town, but Roman citizens who had lived there peacefully for many years. Tiberius had gone at once to the scene of the rebellion. He was still there, and his young nephew, Germanicus, the son of Drusus, was with him, giving him his first taste of active service. Augustus had faith in Tiberius. He felt sure that he would restore the providence to order, if the gods were willing. But what if they were not willing? What if Tiberius also should be taken from him? His fears, magnified by his weakness, made Augustus' hand shake as he continued writing. "I swear to you, my dear friend Tiberius, when I hear that you are getting thin under the countenance of your labors, may I be confounded if my body is not all one shudder, and I implore you to spare yourself, lest if we hear that you are in bad health, your mother and I may expire, and the Roman people be in danger of losing its imperial position. It does not matter a bit whether I myself am ill or well, if you are not well. I implore the gods to preserve you to us and give you your health now and always, if they do not utterly hate the Roman people." Having finished his letter, Augustus rose and walked down slow steps into the peristylum, putting on a broad-brimmed hat to shield his head from the bright light of the opening courtyard. There he sat down to exchange a few words with the 3 favorite women of his family. They were women to be proud of. They were 3, Augustus thought, looking from one to another. There was Livia, his wife, as handsome and attractive in his eyes as the day he married her, and Antonia, his niece, who was the mother of young Germanicus. She must be all of 45, and yet she still had the gentleness and sweetness she had as a young girl. And Agrippina, his slim, pretty granddaughter, who was the young wife of Germanicus. There was one of Julia's children who were truly a joy and comfort to her grandfather. These 3, all women and mothers of future emperors, were sewing, trying to keep up cheerful conversation, although they too were filled with anxiety. Augustus, only half listening to what they were saying, soon became absorbed again in his own thoughts. If the rebellion continued over many months, he was thinking, Tiberius's need for soldiers would come very critical. It might be necessary to require each man and woman in Rome to free a certain number of their slaves to be enrolled in the army and sent to the front. 10 days marching time from Rome, they were bringing rebellious dangerously close to the heart of his empire.